everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Kelsey Sharon Perspective and the solo stuff that I am doing. I'm going through our Substack and taking time for you guys to get the opportunity to, if you're driving and you don't have a chance to read everything, I wanted to make sure that you guys could still stay informed on what we are doing over at Substack and on the Kelsey Sharon Perspective and our advocacy work. So, in saying that, we have our traditional interviews where we have amazing people on talking about stories of resilience and hope and their journeys. And it's absolutely incredible. If you guys haven't seen all of our episodes, we are almost at 300 now. I am so grateful for every single person who has given me their time and been open and honest about their journeys. Now we have started the MAID series where I'm not only reading just a Substack, but we are talking to the brilliant minds, lawyers, doctors, researchers, and people who are against this program, because I'm never going to platform somebody that is going to want to push more death than they already are. So in saying that, let's go through the next article that I wrote called Let's Call MAID What It Is. It's homicide. So we're going to go through it. Before you guys do that, go hit the subscribe button over at Spotify or Apple. We are losing our YouTube right now. When you rate the show, it helps us so much. Go check out our sponsors, XXXY, Ketone IQ, and Good Living. All of the discount codes are in the bio below. Make sure you guys go check them out. I promise you, they are one of the best. Ketones are the best in terms of ketones on the market. Incredible for brain health. XXXY stands up for women's and sports. And Good Living helps our brains and everyone else's function better. And not only that, connect us deeper. So go check those guys out. We give you guys great discount codes. Then let's get right into it. So let's call it what it is. The law classifies MAID as a form of homicide. Full stop. Pro-death cult members desperately are trying to defend their beliefs that MAID is safe, painless, and devoid of criminality. But let's call it what it is. It's homicide. First off, yes, homicide means the killing of another human being. Whether lawful or unlawful, that's some tricky wordplay, but it's the legal and factual definition. It includes murder, but it also includes justifiable killing, self-defense, and yes, even MAID, medical assistance in dying. So pretending that pointing out a correct definition is some kind of intellectual deception is just frankly laughable. The truth doesn't become a manipulation of the language game just because it makes you uncomfortable. Pro-death members claim that using homicide is an appeal to emotion. No, it's just an appeal to reality. The law classifies MAID as a form of homicide. Full stop. Let's be clear about that. The only reason that it isn't criminal is because of the explicit legal carve-out. If it didn't require that exception, we wouldn't even be having this conversation because it would be prosecuted like any other case where the person ends another person's life. They argue that the common usage equates to homicide with murder, and therefore using it is just, the context is misleading. That's not how this works. Just because people have a surface level understanding of a word does not mean that we should be dumbing it down in conversation to fit their assumptions. If we followed that logic, we would be misleading all sorts of things to fit popular misconceptions. Legal, medical, and ethical discussions require precise language, something that people clearly want to avoid. Then there's the laughable argument. They suggest that we should use the term homicide only as a public commonly understands it. That's not actually how the law defines it. That's not a fallacy. It is a basic requirement of intellectual honesty. If a doctor removes life support, yes, it can be legally classified under certain forms of homicide. If a soldier shoots an enemy combatant, that is still homicide, regardless of it being war. That doesn't mean that all homicides are murder. And acknowledging legal reality doesn't make anyone or anything a manipulator. It makes them informed. So let's talk about their MAID ultimate act analogy. It falls apart the second you compare the etymology to an active current living definition. No one is saying homicide based on some obscure historical meaning. We're using it as it exists today. Their attempt to frame this as some sneaky linguist trick is transparent and pathetic. And as for their, people like dying with dignity's little smug sign off, yes, MAID is intentionally ending a human life. Yes, it's legally classified as homicide with an exemption of the criminal law. But let's not pretend that it's an insignificant detail. If MAID were as morally neutral as they'd like to suggest, there wouldn't be a need for special legal permissions to perform it. You can't just redefine ethical concerns out of existence because you feel uncomfortable or it makes you feel uncomfortable. What's actually happening here is that they don't like the weight of the word homicide because it reinforces you and forces you to confront the gravity of what's being done. So instead, they want to sanitize the language around MAID and pretend there is no real moral dilemma and attack anybody who refuses to play along. Sounds awfully like the trans community. Sorry, but I am not here to make you feel better about state-sanctioned killing. I am never going to be okay with state-sanctioned killing. And brought to you by Ketone IQ. If you guys have not heard or seen me drinking these little bottles right here, you have been missing out. These guys right here are single-handedly the biggest part of my routine. Outside of the functional mushrooms, the movement, the sleep, the hydration, Ketone IQ is a number one most important tool that I use in my toolbox. And let me tell you why. If you guys have never experienced runner's high, give this a try. That flow state, it is for real. Ketones are a uniquely powerful macronutrient that can cross the blood-brain barrier, and they increase the brain energy efficiency. And every time you take a Ketone IQ, you're going to notice the radical boost in performance, endurance, and just focus in general. For me, I use this when I road bike, when I run. As a mother, instead of using caffeine after 12 o'clock, I go and grab a ketone. More importantly, I use it before I podcast, before I do keynotes or anything important in my life. You will see a ketone in my bag, on the table, or anywhere near me. So do yourself a favor. Once you're done listening to this awesome episode of the Kelsey Sharon Perspective, go on over to the website partner.ketone.com/Kelsey. You're going to save, go grab yourself a subscription so you never miss out and you always have the energy you need. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Good Living. I am so excited to tell you about something that's become such a meaningful part of my wellness routine, Good Living. Now, this isn't any brand. This is actually a brand I know all of the owners behind. And let me tell you, their integrity, their dedication, and their quality is the real deal. Their microdosing and functional blends are crafted with intention, and you can feel it. Everything is tested and made to support you in tapping into your own rhythm. We're talking about blends for anxiety, depression and stress, ADHD, brain health, inflammation, sleep, and energy. Seriously, they have thought of everything possible. I know firsthand how much love they pour into every single product. So if you're ready to check them out and explore more, go to itsgoodliving.com. And trust me, it's a journey worth taking. That's itsgoodliving.com, itsgoodlivin.com. And make sure to use the code BRASS and get 20% off your first order today. And brought to you by XXXY Athletics. You guys can check them out at xx-xyathletics.com and make sure you use the code Kelsey20. That will help you save. I'm so excited to be a new ambassador of XXXY. I absolutely love what they stand for, and I'm proud to work with them because they are founded on truth, dedication to quality, and they are built for style and performance. Women deserve the opportunities that sports and single-sex spaces provide because sex matters at the end of the day. It is the single biggest determinant of athletic performance, and it's completely unfair and dangerous, as most of you know, to allow males who are XY chromosome to compete with girls and women who are XX in sports. You guys can share your stories just by doing the hashtag workout speak out. Tag myself, Kelsey_Sharon, and the XX_XY athletics on Instagram, and we will share everything. We need to get fit and speak our minds, mobilize into a force that fights back for women's sports. So start fighting. The way that you do that is go to XX-XY athletics, go use the code Kelsey20 at checkout, slap on that gear, signal to the world that you are done allowing others to walk into female spaces. I believe in this brand. I believe in the mission. I believe in what they do. So go grab some now. I'm here to tell you the truth about MAID. And if MAID is defensible, it should be defensible without hiding behind euphemisms. If you believe it's justified, then just own it. But do not sit there and act like pointing out the reality of what's happening is somehow an underhanded trick. That's a weak argument, and that is not something I will do. So I'm going to do everything I can to show you guys this writing when you get the opportunity to go over to Substack and read it. But I'm also going to give you the opportunity on the Kelsey Sharon perspective to hear it. So do yourself a favor, like I said at the beginning. Go subscribe, go like these, go share these, and most importantly, go hug a loved one. Go stand in the grass. These subjects are hard and they are heavy to listen to. I understand. But it doesn't mean that we get to turn away when something's difficult. We just have to learn better self-care tools to be able to handle subjects like this. Whether we like it or not, it's happening. Whether we enjoy it, it's happening. So the least we can do is pay attention so that we can become educated individuals. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am breaking it down. I will see you all next week.